very warm welcome to you wherever it is you're tuned in from Kenya, East Africa and around the world. This is TECHOVER, the show on NTV that discusses all things technology, from tech news to startups to interesting tech conversations that concern you on a daily basis. We show you who are innovating in Kenya and across the borders, and of course we leave you with a tech tip of the week. All that and so much more is in the show. My name is Brian Jojotieno. I am NTV's in-house techie. Today we are talking about augmented reality. What is augmented reality? How can you extract value? How can you use it on a daily basis to make your life better? This and so much more on the show. But first of all, the tech news of the week. If you're a user of iPhone and any other Apple devices, today we are at your doorstep. iPhone maker Apple in late March 2024 lost as much as $100 billion in market valuation as its shares tumbled after the US Department of Justice sued the tech giant and claimed it had a monopoly on smartphones. Shares in the iPhone maker fell by 3.8%, far enough to take $100 billion off the tech giant's market cap. But how did the phone maker get here? So, the US Department of Justice filed a suit in a federal court in New Jersey challenging the tech company's supposed monopoly of mobile handsets. The US suit accused Apple of blocking rivals from accessing hardware and software features on its popular devices, while the possible investigations in Europe focus on the firm's new fees, terms and conditions for App Store developers. So, Apple controls about 60% of US smartphone market. US Attorney General Merrick Garland said unchallenged Apple's smartphone monopoly will only grow. While UK and the European Union competition watchdogs have sought to limit the growth of the tech giants more frequently, American authorities had previously shied away. The lawsuit could represent a shift in policy towards tighter tech regulation in the States. Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco said, "Today, the department alleges that Apple, one of the world's largest tech companies, crossed the line from rigorous competition to anti-competitive exclusion, unlawfully maintaining a monopoly in violation of the Sherman Act." The 16 petitioners argued that the complaint makes clear that for years, Apple has tightened its grip on the smartphone market. They further held that it has done so not through product improvements, but by maintaining a chokehold on competition, locking its customers into the iPhone while locking its competitors out of the market. As a result, and as the complaint details, Apple has gone from revolutionizing the smartphone market to stalling its advancement. In its part, Apple called the lawsuit, open quote, wrong on the facts and the law, end quote. It equally said it will vigorously defend against it. It said, "At Apple, we innovate every day to make technology people love design products that work seamlessly together, protect people's privacy and security, and create magical experiences for the users." End quote. This lawsuit threatens who we are and the principles that set Apple products apart in fiercely competitive markets. Most of the top US tech firms have seen shares soar this year, but Apple has lagged behind. Its shares are down about 11% in the last 2 months. However, the company's woes are far from over, or at least across borders. Apple is also facing challenges on the other side of Atlantic Ocean as the European Commission reportedly probes the company, along with other tech giants including Meta and Google, over potential violations of the European Union's Digital Markets Act (DMA), a law aimed at protecting open markets. The law allows the Commission to fine companies as much as 10% of the company's total annual global revenue and up to 20% for repeat offenders. On March 4th, the European Commission slapped Apple with $1.9 billion fine, accusing the company of abusing its dominant position on the market for distribution of music streaming apps such as Spotify or Apple Music. Since DMA went into effect on March 7th, the company has been under intense scrutiny. The general argument against Apple should be familiar to investors who have followed big tech companies like Apple, Alphabet, and Amazon. Tech giants such as Alphabet's Google, Meta Platforms, and Amazon.com have also faced regulatory scrutiny in recent times for violating antitrust laws. These companies wield tremendous market power, and the line can often be blurred between what's simply acting in their own best interest and what's illegally harming customers and a competitive marketplace. And that's our explainer on Tech News of the Week. Very well, now you're up to speed with what's been happening in the tech world. Time now for that conversation on augmented reality. And I'm joined by a guest. He will introduce himself and tell us what he does. Thank you. Good to see you, sir. Please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Hi, my name is Teddy Karamo. I'm the founder and CEO of Add-on AR. We create AR projects through social media and websites for brands. Yeah.
Great. So, Teddy, for someone who is hearing about augmented reality for the very first time, how would you describe it? How would you tell a 6-year-old what augmented reality is?
Augmented reality is overlaying digital content on top of the real world. Yeah.
Great. So how did you start off in this, and how did AR, first of all, let's just look at AR as a subtopic of tech. How did augmented reality start, and what advancements have augmented reality gotten into to this point?
Augmented reality started in the 90s as from research labs, mostly at Boeing. And those days, they used to have like big headsets. And through those years, we have seen that there have been advancements in sensors, RAM, and cameras, and that has made it accessible for people to access augmented reality. Yeah.
Great. And then now there is you, Teddy. How did you first start off in this field? What made you think that there's a gap in the Kenyan market that needs to be filled with augmented reality content?
At first, I used to just use it just for fun, and there's a time I used to see like people from Europe creating projects which were connected with brands, and I was like, oh, this is another form of marketing, which is the next frontier.
Sort of frontier.
Yeah, the next frontier. Because right now, the marketing frontier we are is mostly 2D, and mostly it's static. With augmented reality, we take it a step further.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So how is AR being used on a daily basis in Kenya?
Okay, we can start with examples. For shoppers, they use it as a tryout. Let's say you want to buy a TV, but you want to see how the TV looks in your room before you buy it.
Yeah.
So you use AR to do it. Secondly, in education, students, you know, we are visual people. Humans are visual thinkers.
Yeah.
So for education, teachers can, let's say it's a physics class or a biology class, you can create a model of the heart and students can actually see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it helps in education. For real estate, potential buyers can see the actual house before it's actually created. So it gives the buyer a sense of where he's going and what he's getting into.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the difference between augmented reality and virtual reality?
For AR, you have to combine the digital with the real world.
Okay.
For VR, you're creating a whole new world. That's why it's called virtual reality. Yeah.
Okay. So how does augmented reality enhance user experiences, especially in those areas you've pointed out? I love the way you brought out the education aspect, real estate, and so many others. How does it help add that value in user experience?
For starters, someone can actually visualize what you're getting into. For example, even training. For factories, when you onboard people, when you onboard like workers, you can actually use AR to train them. They can see how the machines work. They can actually see everything, and it's much easier for them because they can actually visualize compared to you and just tell you going and giving them a book and telling them this is how it works.
Great. So how long have you been in the AR sector?
We started during 2021. Yeah.
So say about 3-4 years.
3-4 years, yeah. But I've been working with it since 2016.
Ah, okay. Does it have challenges? And what are some of these potential challenges that a user should expect?
First of all, lack of knowledge.
Okay.
I mean, people don't know about AR. So even when we started, at first we wanted to just go out and do the projects. But when we go to people and clients, they're like, what is AR? How can I apply this to my business?
Okay.
Yeah, so the lack of education is a problem. And you know, for AR, there are complex projects and there are simple projects. For complex projects, you need a high functioning phone.
Okay.
And you know, in Africa, most people don't have expensive phones.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's another problem. Yeah.
Another setback. Are there any projects you've made, and are you able to show us some of them?
We have done real estate. We have games.
Oh.
Yeah. Even we have sometimes even we create like small projects for holidays.
Okay.
Yeah, to just give the people a sense of belonging. They feel like it's a personal message. Yeah.
Great. Let's talk about data protection and privacy concerns that are emerging in the augmented reality sector. How can people navigate around those very sticky issues of data privacy?
The good thing with AR, before you actually get a chance to access a project, you have to give an allow prompt. Yeah.
Okay.
So the good thing with AR, if you refuse to give the prompt, you'll not be able to view the project. Yeah.
How accessible is augmented reality to the general public in terms of access?
For us, we do WebAR and social AR,
Okay.
which means WebAR, everyone can access it through the browser, and for social AR, people can access it through social media platforms. Yeah, so it's pretty accessible.
What advice do you give people in the business world, in tech, and so many other people who want to also get into this very interesting field of tech and make value out of it?
Okay, for any brand which comes to us, we usually have 5 questions. The first one is, who is your end user? By that I mean, if what you want to advertise targets the people from rural areas, you don't need to use AR.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense for you to have an AR, and the phones they're using even don't have a camera.
Okay.
Yeah. Secondly, the end user. Secondly, the environment. The environment is very important because let's say you're creating a portal, AR portal. You can't just put it next to the road. People get hit.
Yeah, true.
So you have to put it in a space where someone can walk around. Yeah. Thirdly, it's the content. And that's very important. It's the message you want to put out there.
Okay.
Fourth, the other thing we ask is, who's your, or other than the consumer, the other thing we ask is, what's the call to action? Because with AR, for AR to work, there are 3 things which have to combine. The tech is an enabler. Your imagination, which is the project you create, because augmented reality is based on how your creativity and your imagination.
What does somebody need to study to be an augmented reality expert?
Unfortunately, it's not taught in schools. It's something you have to go and just teach yourself. YouTube, it's a skill you have to teach yourself.
So what's your background then?
Law.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay. When did you graduate? When did you leave School of Law?
2017.
2017. And then you just got straight into this?
Yeah.
So you've never practiced, you've never been into litigation?
Nah.
No pleadings, nothing? Okay, great. As we end the interview, first of all, thank you so much. As we end the interview, talk to us about where you see the future of marketing, because I've seen very interesting simulations in marketing, particularly in Asia and America, that have really improved the way consumers access information about a product, about an electronic here, about real estate. Talk to us about the future and if you're seeing the Kenyan market actually adopting augmented reality simulations.
I see there's a big future for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is the right time. Phones are getting cheaper and better. Secondly, the demographic in Africa is the youngest. So
Exactly.
this is a technology for the future. So for people in Africa, we can grow with it.
Yeah, there's a sharp transition towards us.
Yeah, and from experience, seeing people use AR, it blows their minds away. Yeah, people are usually like, wow, and they usually don't forget about it.
Okay.
It has a way to make people remember. Yeah.
Okay.
To remember the brand or the.
All right. Teddy, thank you so much for finding time for us and talking to us about augmented reality. I hope Teddy's conversation inspires you to make something of yourself, especially with regard to augmented reality. And that's where we leave it at for the first part of the show. Takeover continues. On the other side of the show, we have Startup of the Week and the Tech Tip. Don't go too far. Stay techy. Welcome back. You're watching Takeover, the show that discusses all things technology. Time now to know who our founder of the week is. The innovators of this country keep amazing us with interesting projects, and so it's now time to know who we are sampling this week. This is Startup of the Week. In the recent past, forex trading has gained massive popularity among young people. With the advent of the mobile phone, affordable internet and high literacy levels, technology has made it easy for people to trade currencies. Equally with popularity, there has been a proportional rise in misinformation that has misled many to make inappropriate investment decisions in the forex market. This became the inspiration of Caleb and his two colleagues to come up with Financial Hub.
When we started, there was no one really educating people. And there was a lot of people making a lot of losses, including us. And there was no one to help us. And during that time when we started also, the CMA, Capital Markets Authority, hadn't regulated the forex market. So when they actually did that, our first goal at first wasn't even to educate and go into this side. We wanted to trade for people. But the CMA laws under the forex, it was a mandate for you to have a long list of certain criteria in order for you to trade for people. So we decided, you know what, people are not that educated, so let's go that direction. Educate them, teach them, we wanted to empower people, self-empowerment. Then in the long term, we'll go back into the idea of trading for people. So that's a bit of the reason why we started. There was no one doing it, and the people who were doing it a bit fraudulently. So we saw a gap in the market, and that's where we...
Since 2019, the trio has been on a journey to empower people interested in trading forex professionally. However, just like any other business and venture, theirs has been a ton of challenges. Key among them, the misconception of get rich quick as perceived by Kenyans wishing to enter the forex market.
There's a certain lifestyle that has been shown out there. So the biggest problem we get people when they come here, they've seen forex. So when they come for education, they're looking for that get rich quick. They think it's an easy thing to do. In the next 2 months, you can make $1 million Kenya shillings. Now we tell them that's not the plan. The plan is to be consistent and to make good, consistent returns. Now that challenge, you get a lot of people saying they don't want that. They want quick returns. They want that fast life. They want to travel. They want to buy a car. Now we tell them, we emphasize a lot on transparency and honesty. Why should I lie to you and you'll go out there and figure out that that's not how it actually works? So we tell people the truth. In the end, it's normally a problem at first, but in the long term, it always pays off.
This misconception has made the regulator, Capital Markets Authority (CMA), have a tight noose on practitioners in the market with high stakes en route to market.
The regulatory market here, it's quite tough. The requirements required for us to go into the space of trading for people or trading wealth for people, it's a lot. It's a long list, and I've seen there are only 2 licensed people in Kenya who can trade for people publicly. I won't mention the names, but you can search them online. It's a tedious process, but it's not impossible. Anything that's not impossible and it's achievable, even if it takes 5 years, the goal is not to give up. So it's quite tedious, but we know in the end we'll be able to tackle it. In the education space, it's quite simple. You can start as long as you're teaching the right thing. I remember when we started, we sat down with the team at CMA, showed them what we're doing. They gave us the go-ahead, and that's why we're here today.
Caleb confesses the journey of trading and training has given them hope to set eyes on bigger things in the future to manage wealth at professional levels, just like international firms.
We registered our company as Qantas Financial Hub. So people don't know that, but in the back end, we took that name Quant for a reason, because in the long term, we know we're going into the space of digital algorithms and AI. So the goal was to align ourselves, first start with what we know, and then turn it into machines and algos, mathematics, and go in that direction. So at the moment we do not, but we are slowly building a team of people who are competent in the IT space work together with competent traders to build those systems. So our goal here at Financial Lab, and I like joking a lot, I tell a lot of my students, my goal when I started training wasn't to become the best teacher. When I started trading, I wanted to become the best trader, or the best version of a trader I can become. And if I can do that, then I can manage other people's wealth as well. So the future goal is to expand Financial Lab to continue educating and impacting people individually. But the goal is now to spread our wings and to trade for people, manage wealth of the wealthy people, and also for upcoming people, middle class and wealthy people, and help them increase their wealth.
The fight against misinformation in the Kenyan forex market continues in earnest to rid retail traders of long-held misconceptions and ideologies around trading. Financial Hub and other institutions in the space seek to drive this knowledge uptake to advance the reign of right information in currency trading. And that's our startup of the week. Very well, and that's our founder of the week. Last bit now, last segment of the show, and then we'll just wrap up. Here then is the tech tip of the week to keep you up to speed with what's happening in technology.
Hi everyone, my name is Monica Wanjiro. I'm a security engineer, and today I'm going to give you the tech tip of the week. I'm sure most of us, if not all, have received a text message or a WhatsApp message with a link to with a link that if you click on it, you're going to win something or a gift. And most of these links are not legit, and you find out later it's a fake. So today I'm going to be showing you how do you know the link that you have received is a legit link or a fake. So you might have received a text message like this one saying it's an anniversary of a supermarket, and they're going to give you a shopping voucher or a gift if you send this link to 20 people or you put it on your status, something like that. So how do you know whether that message is legit, or are you actually going to get the present or the gift? So what you do normally, the link will have it's a long link, and as part of that link, they will include the name of that maybe supermarket that you know. And something else to note is, because they are trying to fool you, they will definitely put up a logo of that supermarket to just try and make it as legit as possible to the naked eye. So what you do, you can check. You'll just check that URL that you've been given, the link that you've been given, and select the first part of it that says, okay, we call it a domain. So you'll just select the part that starts. You can see what I have highlighted, and it goes to all the way to dot something. So like, let's say if abcd.com, so you just select that abcd.com, and then you go to your browser. And because you want to find out who this person is, there's a site called whois.com. You just type whois.com, and once the page loads, you put in that domain you had selected, which is the very first words that are there before you get to the dot, and then immediately the immediate word after the dot. So in this case, we have sponsor.inreward.click, sponsor-inreward.click. So that is what you're going to select. I have just copied it here to avoid writing it. So you just put it here on whois. So then you click who is this, and then it will show you the details of that person. So it will tell you this is the domain. The person who have registered it is Name Silos LCC, and you can see the organization name is this, and it is based out in USA. So that means if you received a message from a Kenyan supermarket, it already shows you that this is a scam, because how is a person who has registered a domain in USA concerned with gifting people in Kenya? So that's how you find out. Just check who is the organization and which country they are in. And at times, it might be an organization that is registered in Kenya. So what you need to check is, if you're dealing with ABCD Supermarket, then the organization should read ABCD Supermarket or ABCD Organization or ABCD Telco. So just check on the organization who have registered that domain and where it is based out. So the reason why it is important for you to know whether a link is legit or fake is if you click on a fake link, the purpose of that link is mostly to phish you. So what they try and do is get your personal data or information of who are your contacts. So if you're sending it to, let's say, like 20 WhatsApp people, and someone falls victim and clicks on that link, and maybe they'll be asked to log in. So definitely you will log in with your, because you already think this is a legit link, you'll log in with, let's say, your supermarket ABC logins. And what they do is they will record those logins, and mostly with most people, you use the same password for most of your accounts that you have. So if that is the case, then they will gain access to some of your accounts, and you'll end up losing data or losing even money. And the other bit is you might not even get to the point of putting in your credentials, but the moment you click, they know that, oh, this person is easy to scam. So they can even share your details or your phone number with other scammers, and sometimes you wonder, why am I the only one who gets these calls from fraudster asking me to give this type of information, It's because your name has been shared as an easy target. So that's why you should not click on this link, and why you should know is it fake or legit before you click. And that is the tech tip of the week.
Very well. Stay aware, stay awake, don't be scammed. And that's our clarion call for the week. A fair point to leave it at. Thank you so much for finding time for us on TECHOVER, and we hope that the conversation on augmented reality is impacting you in a good way. My name is Brian Jojotieno. Always a pleasure having you on TECHOVER. See you next week, same place, same time. And remember, TECHOVER now is 3 weeks in a month, and then the last Monday of the month we have EdTech Mondays. Yes, be informed of that. Once again, thank you so much for being on the show. See you on the next one, and may tech live forever.